Hey there, it's Johnny speaking. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating a very simple automation that you can use to take an email feed, say a set of emails, let's say you're getting leads into your inbox or you get an RSS feed, and for whatever reason, you want to take whatever's in your email and you want to put that into a Google Sheet. So without further ado, I'm going to be jumping straight onto my screen to show you exactly how you set up this very simple Zapier automation. Okay, so in this situation, what I have is email feed that is coming from a software called Leapfrog Leads. And in this software, we're able to get certain job listings. So if you're subscribed to, perhaps in your situation, maybe you are a job hunter and you want to be notified of the latest jobs with the relevant keywords to match your industry, you can actually set up a feed that you can have in your spreadsheet that you can look at every day to make sure that you never miss any at a given time. Now I can actually turn this into, in essence, a CRM that I can then use so that I can see which jobs I applied to, which ones I did receive replies for, which ones I didn't, which ones I left cold, and I can sort of track my progress this way rather than just keeping everything in an email. You could also extract this into a CRM if you wanted to, so that you could see, leads in and then see which ones you applied to. So what we're going to do is we're going to first of all start off in your Zapier account. If you don't have one, go ahead and sign up to Zapier. It takes literally a few seconds, very simple. And you're going to want to go over here, and when you reach the home, you're going to want to hit and create Zap. So we're going to create a Zap and we're going to call this feed into Google Sheet. And so we're going to put job post things to Google Sheets. And we're going to call this actually Leapfrog. So we're going to call this Leapfrog job postings to Google Sheets. And we're going to have this trigger when an email is sent with an attachment. Now, to set this up, what I had to do was actually get the email address, for example, from this job posting. So this is an email address that they always tend to use. So this is from noreply@leapfrogleads.com. What we're going to want to do is we're going to take this email and we are going to first of all set up a filter. So what you want to do is you want to go over into your Gmail. Now, of course, there'll be other options for this in your Outlook, but the principle is very much the same. You want to set some sort of label that the automation can use as a pickup point so that it knows what to look out for. Alternatively, what you can do in Zapier is you can also set up a filter of sorts. So we'll get back to that in a second, but first of all, let's show you how to set up a filter in Google Mail. So what you want to do is you want to go and hit from. And then for me, I want to make sure you want to search first just to check that, whatever the thing you have there is actually going to work. Once you have done that, you want to create a filter. Okay, and then you're going to want to, apply some sort of label. So here I want to put Leapfrog Leads as my label, but for you, it might be something else. And I'm going to hit create filter. Now I'm not going to do it now because I've already done this, but yeah, that is how you would set that up. Now that you've set that up, you can go over into Gmail and you can look for new labeled email. So for yourself, this could actually be this could, for example, very much be a notification or an attachment, or this could be a set of invoices. So sometimes if you set it up the right way, if you take the right email, you can put that into Google Mail as a filter like I've just shown you, and you can label that as invoices, for example. And with that new labeled email, you can set that off as your trigger and you can send that off to any location like a Google Drive. And that is something I'll show in another video. But for now, we're just going to do a new labeled email and we're going to hit continue. Now we're going to choose an account and we're going to link to this one here and we're going to hit continue. Now, normally you'll have to set that up and actually do the connection. And now what we'll do is we will choose the Leapfrog Leads inbox. So now that we've done that, we hit continue. And now we are going to test the trigger. Now that we've tested the trigger, we should be able to see the job that came up, and it is correct. So we need an expert in the following: Python, Langflow, make.com, Gmail, Sheets, CSV. So that is the correct email. So if I go over here, that is the correct message that comes up. So that has worked. Now that we have confirmed that that works, we just hit continue with selected record. And now we add a new app. Now this one we want to use Google Sheets. So we're going to use Google Sheets here. And we're going to choose an event. So we're going to create a spreadsheet row. So we want to add a new row and we're going to hit continue. And we're going to hit continue again to have the correct account. Now, normally, if you want to connect a new account, you would hit change or you'd have to set a new account up, but I've already done that. So yeah, it'll be fairly self-explanatory and it'll just ask you to sign into your Gmail. Now we go on into the action itself. Now we choose the drive. So we go to my Google Drive over here, and now we're going to choose the spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet that we're going to choose here is going to be Upwork Outreach Tracker, like so. And we're going to choose a sheet. We're going to call it Leapfrog, because that is the one over here. This one is my virtual assistants, but the one that we want to add into is the Leapfrog sheet. So that's what the one that we're going to add into. So we're going to type in Leapfrog to find it, and it is over here. So it's found nice and easy. Now that we found that, we have been told that we don't have any headers in the spreadsheet. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to add headers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the columns that I had for this column over here. So this is a feed that has been manually added by an individual. I'm going to use the same headers here. So I'm going to copy these headers and I'm going to put them into my sheet. So that is now going to be added in. So now we have the title of the job post. Now we have the link of the job post. We have the number of proposals. We have the type of job, and we are going to put in my sort of comments and add in some sort of category as well if we want. So now that we have that, we're going to refresh the fields. Perfect. And now we can add in the format. So we can actually start adding in some details about this. So now we can go ahead and we can start extracting the data that we get from this. Now, before we can actually add in the URL into the job post link, one thing to note is that we have to format the text first. So to format the text in Zapier, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go into the plus button and add in formatter. So you're going to have to add a step and you're going to have to look for the formatter. So this is a built-in tool, and this is their formatter over here that I like to use. And you're going to click the format and you're going to choose event, and you're going to want to work with text over here, and you're going to want to hit continue. And you're going to want to transform the values. And so what you're going to want to do here is actually try and extract text. So here, it does extract email addresses, but because there's so many email addresses in this email, it's going to extract the wrong one. So what I like to do is I like to extract a pattern. And when you extract a pattern, what it will ask you is to add in a pattern. Now, it'll ask you for Python regular expression. Now, if you're not a developer and you're not very technical and you haven't learned Python regular expression, don't worry, because there is an easy way around this. And you can use a good friend, Chat GPT, to actually take the text that came out of the email. So note that when you actually create the email, when you create the email and you extract the email body, you'll notice that it is actually this ugly string of text. And what I've done is I've asked it to try and find this URL here. So when it says click to apply, that is a URL in HTML, and in the main body, you will be able to find it. And so when you take that, well, you can come over to ChatGPT, copy that email body. So all you have to do is come over here, copy this HTML body, and paste it directly into ChatGPT and ask it, hey, can you please write some regex to extract the URL that I gave it, from the following email. And I also noted that I want to make it similar such that all emails can have the URLs that contain upwork.com extracted. Please give me a regex expression I can use for automation. And it gives me a regex expression. So I'm going to delete this one over here. I'm going to delete this one because I've already used it. So I'm just going to delete this step because I've already set that up somewhere else. So I'm going to delete that, delete, and I'm going to come back to the one I made earlier. So this is the one that I made earlier. And if I hit the event, so I'm formatting text, if I continue, I hit the extract pattern and I put in the body plane over here, right? So this is the one that contains that big chunk of text that I gave to ChatGPT earlier, right? Once I've now done that, I have to then come on over into this and put in the code that I got from ChatGPT and copy that code and put that into the pattern. Now I want to hit match all. No, I don't want to make sure everything matches. And for multi-line, you can ignore that, set that to no. I'll explain what each of these mean in another video. This one ignores the case when matching. I know it's always going to be lowercase, so I don't have to worry about that for now. Also, this is another field. We don't need an extra body plane, so that you can ignore this. And then I'm just going to hit continue. And I'm going to retest the item. And what it's done, it has successfully extracted that URL. So I've tested it, it works, and now we can move ahead. Now we can continue. So once we've done that, the next thing that I'm going to want to do over here is now extract this part of the email. So what we want to do here is we're going to want to extract the actual title of the job post. Now, it doesn't actually show up here, but one thing that is quite clever about the Upwork URL is that it does actually gives you the title within the URL. And I'll explain how it does this. So what I want to do is come back over to ChatGPT, and what I want to do is I want to extract this part of that URL. So I'm going to go and ask ChatGPT over here. Like so, and I'm going to ask it to extract anything between this part and this percentage sign over here. So I'm going to ask it, yeah, there we go, and that side. So it's basically anything between that percentage sign over there. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT the following. So as a side note, I've actually got a handy little voice to text converter, which you can find on the Google Play Store, Google Chrome extension, and it converts everything from my voice. So it's called voice control for ChatGPT. That's a side note. But getting back to the main point, what I'm going to do now is to ask ChatGPT, hey, can you please extract the following from this URL? So I'm going to give it the URL, put it in quotation marks. I want to extract the that part. Please, can I have the regex expression for this? Perfect. So, and then it even gives you an explanation as to how it does that. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I am going to copy this code, and I'm now going to come back over into Zapier. And what I'm going to do, instead of actually taking it from the email, what I'm actually going to do now is now we can actually use the output that we had from here, and we can actually now use this output 0 over here. So we can now use this output 0, and we can actually put in the regex code. And now all we have to do is hit continue, as we did before. And now we're going to test the action to see what comes out, and it should give us that expression. So now it has perfectly given us the job title. It adds in a little bit of extra text, but that's okay. And now I'm going to hit continue. And I'm going to hit continue. And once we hit continue, what we're going to do now is we're going to go over into Google Sheets, and we are going to update the Upwork post title. So now we are going to go into the action, and now we are going to add in the post title, and we're going to add in the second text formatter by Zapier, and we're going to put in the output here, and we're also going to now put in the second one. So this is going to be the URL, right? And that's going to give us a URL that we can use. And you know what I think would be really nice is if we added another formatter to actually add in the sort of the description, but you know, we don't have to necessarily do that today. So now what we're going to do is we are going to hit continue, and now we are going to test the action to see if it actually puts it in to the sheet. Okay, so that is now finished. I can now go over here, and I can see that the post title has come up, and it has also posted the link, which I can put into my spreadsheet. And now I can actually turn this into, in essence, a CRM that I can then use, so that I can see which jobs I applied to, which ones I did receive replies for, which ones I didn't, which ones I left cold, and I can sort of track my progress this way rather than just keeping everything in an email. You could also extract this into a CRM if you wanted to, so that you could see, you know, leads in and then see which ones you applied to. This can really apply for any sorts of automation, but hopefully this shows you the power of what you can do once you have certain automations in place to organize things and give you better data and feedback, whether you're applying for Upwork jobs, whether you're applying for, you know, full-time jobs on a website like Indeed.com. Having this sort of framework with Zapier and the formatting tools I've shown you can really help you to organize your workflow much better. If you found value in this, let me know. And if you want to see any other sort of automation with Zapier, please put it in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to do a live build out and answer any sort of questions that you have regarding this. Thanks so much for watching.